Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Aisha. I am the host of the Start to Finish Motherhood podcast. And this is my new channel, Start to Finish Abroad, which will chronicle my new direction. I've always wanted to live abroad, and I feel like this is my time to actually do it. So I plan on taking myself and my kids over the next 24 months to plan and decide and actually get to a destination of our choice. And so I want to take you through that process from start to finish and bring you along with me on that journey. As I was doing my research and really considering my checklist of what needs to happen in the next 24 months, I knew that from the different expat groups that I've been in and the different blogs that I've read, there's a fine line between what stays in the States and then what goes with you. So I'm currently going through that process of thinking through the things that I need to take with me so that myself and my kids can have a comfortable life. One of the mindset shifts that I know is that you can't go into a new country trying to bring the old country with you. So we're going to leave a whole bunch of stuff behind, but things like our favorite seasonings and maybe snack treats, things that can travel well and are non-perishable would be things that are at the top of the list of what can come. But I totally want to be immersed in a culture as much as we can. We will still obviously be expats in another country. Okay, so as a Black woman, one of the things that I know is a real kind of question and consideration is what happens to our hair. And that led me down the rabbit hole or path of trying to figure out what hair care products do I need to make sure that I have with me, at least to start out till I get the lay of the land and see if the products that I like are actually in that other country or if I need to make plans to have it shipped in to me. So this video is going to be out. I will have a full series on the different types of products that works for my hair and my children's hair. And this is just the starting video. So if this is something that's of interest to you, I ask that you subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification button so that you're notified whenever I post a new video. Okay, so going through this process, I had to take a step back and really go through our cabinets and think through the hair care products that work for my hair. Now, the hair textures in my household will range from my really coily, kinky texture hair, and my children have softer curls. And so that's the gamut. But since becoming a parent and as a Black woman, we tend to have a stockpile of products that work for our hair, did not work for our hair. And so I've kept some of those products. And so I will use the more gentler products on my kids' hair. And now I'm learning what works for their hair. Now, what works for my hair, I actually wrote down a list of the things that work for my hair and then the things that I need to pack to take into account the hair care needs for our entire family. So there's a particular detangler that they have at a beauty supply store. It's the generic version of the Paul Mitchell detangler that works very well for my hair and my eldest hair. So my hair is kinky, curly, and fine textured hair. My oldest daughter, her hair is thick. Her hair has looser curls and it gets tangled easily. And so it's been torture trying to braid up her hair, wash her hair. And she's also in the process of learning how to take care of her own hair. And so she now does the detangling and the washing. But we found that it was hard for her to detangle her hair. So I was like, let me see if this detangler that I love will work on her hair. And sure enough, it is our go-to. It makes it so much easy. So she uses that detangler. I use it occasionally, but I have the money to spend more on my products. So I will get and try different products, but that's a staple for her. And then my youngest, she has fine hair. And I think it's low porosity hair because I have to really work to get moisture into her hair. Her hair does best when it is washed, fresh washed, and get that moisture in and then braid to soak up the moisture. Now, there are specific products for my hair, my oldest hair, my youngest child's hair that are combined in this list. So the generic detangler is one. I like Apogee as a protein treatment. You use it every 6 to 8 weeks. I tend to go every probably 8 weeks with putting it in. It just strengthens the hair, adds protein where protein is missing. This has been a go-to that I have used throughout my entire hair journey since I was in my early 20s, and it is a staple. I like the African Pride leave-in conditioner. That one is a soft conditioner that will add moisture, define some curls in my hair. So I like that one. I also like the Patterns Curl Gel, which is a leave-in and their leave-in conditioner. I really like Patterns product. And so that's a more on the pricier end. And so that's something I would buy specifically for me and not for the kids. I like the ORS olive oil moisturizer. I use it on all our hairs in the house. I also like the ORS Color Blast hair color wax that I'm going to talk about in later episodes. And now, just across the board, a quality hair oil. I am a backyard gardener, so I'm always growing herbs, and I really liked rosemary and calendula oils. Rosemary, I don't think really likes my hair, but I love the way it smells. So I still have some that I need. So I'm going to try to use that up. And then the rest of the infused oil I made, I'll just use it for cooking. The one that really seems to like my hair is calendula oil. And so pretty much I make the oils and I'll grab the fresh rosemary, the fresh calendula, and I will steep it in an oil. I thought that I would love olive oil, don't love olive oil on my hair, but grapeseed oil, love it. And I will go to something like a Lidl or one of the other stores, and I will get it for fairly cheap, reasonably priced. And then I just put the herbs in the oil, steep it in a hot water bath, do that a few times, and then let it sit for months. You have to make sure that the herbs are dried so you don't get any mold or whatever has worked for me. And so I use calendula oil. I use a good quality moisturizing conditioner that really suds up. And then I have clarifying conditioners. Those clarifying shampoos and a moisturizing shampoo. Those I just try to go to the beauty supply store and pick ones for curly hair type that is moisturizing or clarifying. Other staples that I'm taking with me is my hooded dryer. I'm going to disassemble it and pack it up, and then I have blow dryers with a diffuser end. Our entire house is curly hair and natural hair at this point. So diffusers work for the girls. Diffusers work when I'm in a rush or I just need to hit a particular area and dry it. Those are the hair care products. So today I am going to have you along with me as I go through my journey or my wash day routine. And so when I do a fresh wash and I just want the curls defined, so what I'll do is I'll do a fresh wash and then I'll show you what my hair texture is like. And then we'll put in the CurlMaker. And then I'll talk you through my hair journey and the things that I want to accomplish when I get into another country. This was a holiday weekend, and I am about to do a fresh wash of my hair. So, in watching another YouTube channel where they were talking about color waxes, and I like color waxes, one of the YouTubers said that they really liked this sassy silver color. And I thought, yes, I want to look like a storm, like the X-Men. And I was like, let me try it. So I tried it and I did not love it. The YouTuber loved it. I did not. It was okay for me to go out and it looked like, but it really looked like I put leave-in conditioner on my hair and I didn't fully rinse it out. So didn't love it. So I'm going to wash it out before I do my classes later today. But I do like the definition of the color wax. And I find that it's almost like another soft hold gel. What I learned is that certain products don't work well together. So I am going to wash this out and come back and show you what my hair looks like just washed out. And then I will take you through the process of just applying the CurlMaker, and then we'll go from there. All right. See you in a bit. I'm back. Fresh washed hair, moisturizing shampoo, and then a detangling conditioner. And now to go back through my hair journey, I've been relaxed. I think I started getting a relaxer maybe at 12 or 13. I grew up in a large family, and so relaxers were luxury. So started getting relaxers at about 12 or 13, and hair was fine. My mom always did my hair. My sisters were braiders, and so I typically wore braids in my younger years. And so then as I became a teenager and adult, I experimented with flat ironing my hair, curling my hair to a crispy curl, cut it. It was long. And so then as I became an adult, I was fully relaxed. My hair has always been healthy. I haven't had like major hair conditions. Now, the one condition that I did battle with was alopecia areata. And so typically, some people think that alopecia is related to some products or hair tension on the hair. I didn't have any of that. And I had like really crisp circles of hair loss. And for a few years, I was regularly seeing a dermatologist where I was getting injections in my scalp to stimulate hair growth in the areas where it was falling out. So I've always been really sensitive about the edges of my hair and looking for bald spots. Now, once I got tired, there was one particular visit with the dermatologist where I was like, when will they find a cure? When will they come up with something that doesn't require me to get shots, thousands of shots in my scalp? And he said, they're probably never going to come up with a cure. And I was just like, you know what? Screw that. So that started, this was about 2012, 2013, where I started transitioning my hair. Now, I was not ready for the big chop, so I did a slow transition where I was just growing out relaxers. I wore braid outs a lot to keep the textures fairly similar and protect the hair from major breakage. I didn't experience any major breakage, and so that was good. And then by the time I moved to a new area, I'd had a baby. I had about 4 or 5 inches of new growth. And it was a particular Friday where I decided, okay, this is the time I'm going to do the big chop. I was also going through a transition period in my life because I was trying for my second child. I was experiencing secondary infertility. I was ready for a change. I was ready to invite this new chapter. And this was like me telling the universe, I'm ready. So chopped off my hair. So I went from having long hair to almost a little fro when I went back to work. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I called one of my good friends, Cal Watts, and I said, I just cut my hair off. I don't know what to do. I have to figure this out. So she recommended Camille Rose CurlMaker, which has been a staple. And so that's what I've been using ever since. Now I alternate between the CurlMaker, which is expensive for my budget. And so there is I said the African Pride of leave-in conditioner that I like to use, and that gave me nice soft definition. And so I alternated between those two for a while. As my hair got longer, it was a bit unwieldy to work with the CurlMaker because my learning curve was still steep. It was easier for me to work with the CurlMaker when my hair was short because I could do it in the shower. I can rake it through. I could detangle it. I can shake it out, use the diffuser, and then I was done. But as my hair got longer, it became a bit much for me to do in the shower with the detangling. And I've never really been good about going to beauty salons and getting trims. So I switched to the creamy leave-in conditioner that gave me soft curl definition. And that worked while I eventually did have my second child. So while I was on maternity leave, that worked. It was just really easy, and it was literally wash and go. Get in the shower, wash my hair, put on the leave-in conditioner, and then put my hair up, let it air dry, what have you, and then I was on the go. But I had a new baby, so I needed something that was quick and manageable. Now, and then a few years ago, one of my girlfriends gave me a Christmas gift that had a patterns sample, Tracy Ellis Ross's product patterns, and that's been great. It also gives me a nice curl definition, and it's a soft curl. I refresh it every morning with some spritz of water, and then I go on my way. So those are pretty much the curl creators. that I use in my routine. I have fresh washed hair. Like I said, I make my own hair oils. So I have my setup. I have a water bottle. I have taken to wearing gloves. I saw a video where somebody was wearing gloves and people were like, "Are you wearing gloves while you're doing your own hair?" And she was like, "Yes." She was like, I think she was sensitive to the product, but also had cuticles. So and it kept her from snagging her own hair. Now, what I found being a mom, I am constantly washing my hands, putting hand sanitizer on. And so my nails have taken the brunt of parenthood. And so I might snag a cuticle and then I'm trying to work through my hair and I'm ending up causing damage to my own hair. And then I started using gloves and that was just like, oh my gosh, I love it. So I use gloves on my hair. So I talked about put a few drops. So I talked about how I knew that hair care was going to be an issue moving abroad. It was confirmed by being in the expat groups. But what really led me to to even have this on my radar was when I went on a trip to Italy with some of my girlfriends, and we had this really cute African Black tour guide. She was cute, her hair was not. And so we were talking to her. She was explaining to us how hard it is to get hair care products for her hair type in Italy. And so just going through the strife and the struggle of finding products for your hair in another country. So I knew that we ended up sending her a care package, but I knew that if I were ever to live in another country, I would want to know and bring my own hair care products until I knew what worked. So now I'm just putting some of the calendula oil on my hair and I'm going to get ready to do little sections of the CurlMaker. I'm probably going to do 10 sections just to make sure it gets all the way through and then pull it through with my fingers. And so now, from the beginning of doing my own hair, I knew that I was not a beauty salon girl and that if I were going to, let's see, yeah, I've gone through a really stressful period, which led to me transitioning in my career, and the edges of my hair have taken the brunt. And for a while, I was trying my rosemary oil, and I don't think my hair likes rosemary oil. So now I'm trying to just go with the calendula oil, and it seems to be filling back in a little bit. So and then I have a few grays. And now I knew I was not so I'm trying to make the curl go to the other. I'm trying to make a bang, if I have a bang, have it go to this side. So I was never a beauty salon girl. Spending 4 hours in a beauty shop, listening to gossip and all that stuff has never been my thing. Even when I was dating a guy who was paying for me to get my hair done. It was like, let's get first appointment. I can get in there and get out. And even with natural hair, I don't always go and get trims. I think the last time I had a trim at a beauty parlor was during COVID. But after that, I did a big chop. And I'd say probably every 12 to 16 weeks, I'll blow out my hair just specifically so that I can trim. And then I do little trims as I go, but not in the beauty parlor. Okay, so now I have small enough sections. So I am just going to go section by section. And I should have brought a clip with me. But I'm going to go section by section with the CurlMaker. This one's almost out. And so it's jelly. And so I have a little bit. I would say probably like a quarter size amount for this section of hair. And I am going to work it through. Now, I find that this works best when your hair is dripping wet. So I have a water bottle here with me because I'm not in the bathroom to just spritz as needed. So yes, I knew I wasn't a beauty shop girl, but I didn't think that I was a hair girly girl until I went natural. Now, some people struggle when they go natural. I knew that if I did it, I was gonna have to rock it. And so that's the way I am with just about everything in life. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna do it well. So I knew that if I did natural, I would have to own it and really figure out what works for my hair. And so I did that. And so when I go overseas, I plan to do stay natural because I have no intentions of wrestling and trying to find a hair shop or hair products or do any of that while I am overseas. And it's just the work will come in trying to find my products, working my products in, but I don't plan on sitting on anybody's couch and or go to anybody's house just to get my hair done on a regular basis. Now, I also know that the expat community is large, especially the Black expat community. And when you move overseas, you are not, depending on your visa status, you're not able to work. And so a lot of people will get work and they're trying to make roughly the same amount of money that they make in the US. So they will charge you US prices if you're an expat looking for some of the luxuries of home. And yeah, but the whole trend in the salon hair care industry with charging thousands of dollars for hair and then all the I'm not paying $1,000 to get my hair done. I don't want to deal with the hassle, so I will try my best to learn how to manage and maintain my hair and my children's hair. And occasionally for the girls, I will let them go to beauty parlor, especially for my 11-year-old. She is now starting to request specific things. And as she gets older, she gets a little bit of money or she gets birthday presents and stuff. I treat her to certain things. And so, but that is still like a once, like end of the summer, school year is about to begin type of situation. The little one, not so much, but she probably will follow the lead of her big sister. But yeah, there's that. So big sis is learning how to braid her hair, like I said, wash and condition her hair. So I am going to finish this up and then I'll come back, show you what it looks like. So I'm just trying to work it in, make sure I have it all in. Sometimes we forget the bag. I don't really look at the back of my hair, but some people do. I remember when I was in college, I had people who would run their fingers through my hair or touch my hair just to see if hair was real. So when you think that you don't care about stuff, other people be looking. And it's not that I care, but people are petty. And I think I'm just about done putting CurlMaker on. Okay, so this is 30 minutes under the dryer. So now the hair is mostly dry. And yeah, it's a little bit wet in the front, but it's mostly dry. So now I'm just going to use my hair oil one last time and moisturize before I start to handle my hair. And so my take on protective styling and doing my own hair is to try to keep it as low manipulation as possible. So this for me works. And so I will typically, this will keeping my hair for probably 1 week for sure. And then 2 weeks, I can stretch it. So what I'll usually do is by day 4, I can play around with color, which I love to do. And so what I found with this particular curl making product, it does not play well with other products. If you put other products on, at least for my hair, it made it all flake. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I have to start all over again. So I just don't do it. But if I give it a couple of days, it will, or maybe if I wait until the hair is dry. I just had a terrible experience that first time. So I just go ahead and I wait a few days and then by the time a few days come, I'm more settled into my week and I'm just ready for something different. And so then I will refresh it with some water, some oil, and then I will go through with color. That's for another video. But the reason that I took you on this initial hair care journey is because hair and hair care products is a very real factor for Black women as they consider moving abroad. A lot will do braids, a lot will transition into locks. I wanted to keep my hair natural. And it goes back to what was my main reason for considering a life abroad? The main reason for considering a life abroad was that I really wanted freedom, right? So it doesn't make sense to take one form of freedom and trade it in for another form of freedom. So don't let hair care be the reason your move abroad does not go smoothly or is not successful because you didn't fully anticipate the hair care aspect of it. And now to finally wrap it up, I am a fan of fro hogs. I like them and they give me that kind of edgy feel as I navigate as a mother of two, looking like something the cat dragged in most days, but my hair, when I'm on, I like it to be neat. And so I'm just pinning it up to give the fro hawk effect. This was a lot easier to accomplish when my hair was shorter, but now that it's growing, I end up having to use a million bobby pins to get the hair to lay to the side. So that's one side. Now let's lay this one. So I exaggerate pushing it and pinning it to the side, and then that gives me the a fro hawk with movement. And this creates a good base for me to then just go in and tweak it throughout the week. I think as I've gotten older, my hair is more sensitive to sleeping with bobby pins and a hairstyle. I can't take tugging or pulling. Sometimes I might have to take the fro hawk down, all the way down at night, and then just redo it in the morning. And so I'm just popping in these pins, bobby pins. And so now it's off my face, and then I have a little bit of a bang. And sometimes this is too long. And so I'll play with this part even more. So I might try pinning this up just a little bit to get it off my eyeglasses. But let's see if that'll still give me a bang and the coverage that I want to still be the edgy mode. Let's pin this up a little bit more so that it is okay. So that's the front and the back. And finish it off with a little bit of this Eco Styler gel. I like to just have a soft hold. The other two products that I want to bring that's specific to the children, like I'm bringing a bit of the Eco Styler gel. So when I get ready to go and I get ready to stock up, I'll stock up on some of this gel because I like the light hold. And for my kids, because they're children and they don't like their hair to be messed with, I try to get their hair to hold or be done for as long as I can. So for my eldest, since she has thicker hair and she's older, so a little bit more okay with putting some types of products in her hair, I will put in the braid gel, which really has good hold for when I put the braids in her hair, and it'll keep her hair for a week or two. So I'm going to put some braid gel. I probably only need to get one big vat of braid gel for her. And then for my youngest, since her hair is finer, we have issues with flyaway and I'll do it and then immediately it looks undone because of the hair that has escaped. So I use a light hair wax on her hair, beeswax hair wax. And so just a little swipe and a brush, and then she's good. So I'll bring probably 1 stick of that for her hair. In particular, they'll be older, but I think their hair is showing who they are at these ages. And that is my CurlMaker routine. Went from a fresh wash to applying the product and then sitting under the dryer and then final quick style. And so that's where I'm going to leave you. If you enjoyed this video, again, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications because I'm going to do an entire series. I like to play with hair wax. And so I will do a video that takes you through how I apply the hair wax and then the final look of the hair wax. So I have a couple of those planned. And then I guess implicit to my hair routine, when I talked about doing the protein routine once every 8 weeks, I like to start with a pre-poo, and that is old school hot oil treatment for me. So I'll do coconut oil and I'll do a quick detangle to try to get the hair that shed. And then I'll get up the next morning and then do a wash with the moisturizing wash or clarifying, depending on what I have done to my hair and what it needs. And then I will apply the Apogee. So Apogee is a protein treatment where I have to sit under the dryer as well. And then that, because it's a protein treatment, I have to use a really good deep conditioning, moisturizing hair mask, and I have a product for that. And so that's just taking me through what I do to the life of my hair. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, hopefully you'll join me on my journey from start to finish. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye now.